Alright, so I haven't spent a lot of time on it, and I guess it's time to actually mention it. It's time to start talking rotation, guys. Rotation was announced well back weeks, months ago. I don't know. It was in the midst of all the new rules articles that we got. And as far as the competitive metagame is concerned, we'll talk about the new rules a little closer to the time, possibly after Worlds. I don't want to distract away too much from the conversation regarding the metagame, because come Worlds, it's still going to be on this older rule set, and it's still going to be a month or two after that older rules, after that tournament, that we still have this current rule set. So I promise we're going to get over this, but right now let's talk about the 2017 rotation and how it's going to affect the future of the game. Starting first with what is rotating. We're losing the Flash. As far as full 5-figure booster sets, we're losing the Flash, Justice League Trinity War, Avengers Assemble, and the Age of Ultron. As well, we lose the Fast Forces packs related to the Flash, Trinity War, and Age of Ultron. That includes the CSA, Rogues, and Classic Avengers. As well, starter sets, we're going to be losing the Age of Ultron movie starter set and the Age of Ultron movie micro set. And then there's a whole list of con exclusives, including D005 Batman. I believe that's a White Lantern Batman. I could be wrong. The Trinity of Sin team base, along with the Pandora, Phantom Stranger, and Question attached to that. We're also going to be losing out on Superman and Wonder Woman duo, Batmite, Gentleman Ghost, Trinity of Sin team base, like I said. The Holiday Mephisto, Old Man Logan, Death Mask, Obnoxio the Clown, Shuma Garath, and the Holiday Elf. As well, we're going to be losing the 2014 con exclusives of D012 Batman. I don't remember. I don't know the numbers, so you're going to have to double check up me on that one. The World's Finest, I think that might be the Vampire Batman. World's Finest, Jonah Hex, Amazo, along with the Resurrection Man, Anti-Monitor, Wolverine, 009 Wolverine, M010, Spider-Man, Iceman, and Firestar. Those are the three that were attached to the team base. Ms. Lion from the team base, Whiplash, Dupe, the Hulk and Red She-Hulk duo, Impossible Man, Zombie Galactus, the Captain America Sentinel, and the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends team base, along with Krampus. As well, for monthly OP kit sets, we lose out on the 2014 Marvel X-Men. That's the Angel, Psylocke, Rogue OP kit figures. The Gen 13, that's John Lynch, Sarah Rainmaker, and Cheshire OP kit figures. The Excalibur, Pete Wisdom, Captain Britain, Cannonball, along with the Black Canary, Wonder Woman, Wonder Girl, Justice League OP kit set. And we also lose from Modern, the Justice League strategy game, the Legacy of Hank Pym box set, and the free comic book day Avengers Quick Start kit. Bet you didn't know those were legal. As well, we're going to be losing out on the ATA. So what does this change on the grander scale of the metagame? Well, as far as the ATAs are concerned, I'm going to address that first because this seems to be the one that brings the most heat. Honestly, them becoming Golden Age doesn't have as grand of an effect as people are starting to scream about. A lot of the time, ATAs weren't built around. They were built as a point finisher. We use them to fill out our teams if we happen to have a theme team. A lot of the time, competitive play, the theme team is, oh great, I have one, as opposed to, oh well, I built with the ATA in mind and the theme team with it. As far as sets we're losing, big figures we lose out of it. Trinity War, we lose out on Atomica. The Flash seemed to come and go very quickly. Avengers Assemble, we do lose out on Justin Sabert, which could see less of Krang showing up. But Age of Ultron is a big one because we lose out on the point cheating strategy of Ultrons. And we're all guilty of it, using a 30-point Ultron to get a 120-point ID call-in. We lose out on that ability. So what does that mean for ID cards? Well, you got to be a little bit more careful about picking the character that you're going to pick. You do have to devote a 120-point character to actually bring out Nick Fury now. It does limit the power level of the ID cards a lot. You do have to devote points to get points now. the fast forces themselves, we do lose, like I said, we lose the Atomica. It's a 25-point prober, but we just gained a 25-point prober and a 35-point prober in Deadpool and the X-Force. So, and I think that was the fast forces. Domino was 25-point prob, 35-point prob, and the dupe. Both are really good still. So not a huge loss. We just have to readapt to new play. But what does happen is the threat of the Quinjet disappears. Because let's not kid ourselves, in the grander scale of things, the Quinjet is still a massive threat. We kind of lost attention to it because a lot of competitive play played through the Rock, and the Rock was in its limited season right now where the Quinjet is just not functional. So with the Quinjet gone, some strategies can come out of the woodworks that weren't necessarily strong in a world of the Quinjet. Because the Quinjet was a thing where we all looked at it and said, oh my gosh, it's 135 points and I got to deal 17 damage to it. Now you don't have to deal 17 damage. You're back to smaller dials on the board. But in some cases, there is some overcommission that's still going to be required. That said, the con exclusive took a double year hit. What this means in the grander scale is that next year when we lose a 2015 con exclusive, we can all rejoice at the loss of Faust. Can we all start smiling yet? It's another year. Sorry guys, we still got to deal with him for another year. The OP kit figures was a big hit because Black Canary's ID card is still valid, but Black Canary was probably one of the best call-ins for Pulse Wave that's ever existed in the game because of the ability that she includes Force Blast with it, so she can do auto knockback, and in the midst of that Pulse Wave, you lose all your powers are all ignored while you're being knocked back, and that's extra damage that's definitely going to be dealt unless you're dealing with a multi-base figure, or yeah, a multi-base figure in general. So, as a grand scale of things, that's probably the biggest loss of the OP kit figures because not a lot of them have been having an effect on the grander metagame. As far as the ATAs are concerned, the ones we lose that we've seen, Thunderbolts. But ultimately not that big of a loss because when was the last time in high-level competitive play we saw Thunderbolts actually used effectively? Or even in a top 8. I mean, I've seen ATAs included on teams, and I look at the choice in them, and I say, that was an interesting choice, and that was because you had 3 points left over. That's generally the use I've seen of them. But that's competitive play. They get shifted to the Golden Age, which is what a lot of casual play is. So, guys, they're not gone. They're just not high-level modern age competitive play. And yeah, that's, I mean, as far as an effect of the overall game goes, we don't lose a great deal except for a lot of ID card call-ins, and the Avengers Assemble set of ID cards along with the Hank Pym ID card. Now, the Hank Pym ID card itself isn't as effective as, say, the Ant-Man one, which has Scott Lang as a real name, but Ant-Man is a good enough name to call in on anyway, if you're looking for an Ant-Man. Beyond that, we're looking at the big losses being Triathlon, who is a source of Charge Flurry on a call-in, not frequently used lately. Hawkeye as a call-in, who is a good character, especially at 75 points. The Ronin ID card, which was flexible for those of you who didn't necessarily have the specific character. It had a lot of character names on it that you could use to call in. But Avengers Assemble actually kind of went by the wayside once the DC and Nick Fury ones really started to take prominence. We also lose the Age of Ultron ID cards, which is another big dig into the ID card pool. But then when you look at the grander scale of things, I think at most I saw Wonder Man being used. And that was Tom specifically using it, that guy. There's still a lot of really strong ones in the con exclusive realm. A lot might start to see some more action in general. We could see Spider-Man's being used from the Civil War OP kit set. Wow, I said that. Being used to charge Flurry. We could see... I mean, we still also... We won't have the Age of Ultron She-Hulk anymore, but there could be a She-Hulk out there around the corner somewhere that might have Charge Flurry to kind of alleviate the loss of the one we're losing from Age of Ultron. But ultimately, what we will see is a vast limitation. What we do lose big time from Trinity War is going to be Pandora's Box. And what we also lose from Age of Ultron is the Round Table. What that means is, unless you have the Justice League teleporter, you're not ready for the big show again. Or, sorry, you're not ready to play a round table like resource. Going into the future, what is a round table going to be used for? Well, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It could, because we don't have as many POG generators. We're going to be losing the Ant-Man POG generator that was used to move round tables very quickly. So we have to find other ways to take damage and move the round table. Devil Dinosaur does become an option. His ability to create 3 POGs at a time. If they start taking damage, you can start moving that round table around a lot quicker. It's what ultimately it becomes is, how are we using it? Because it's definitely not going to be used as frequently as a call-in engine, though there is some viable strategies using big characters, swinging them in, using a big shot from another big character and throwing it back. That was a strategy Tom was using for a little bit, and could come back. We could see the Mary Marvel slingshot make a quick return, but will it be enough in the game that we're seeing right now? Ultimately, it does seem like the metagame itself shifted along with the rotation in general. It could be a sign of power creep. That's not really my opinion on the show. The point that I'm trying to kind of point out is that there is a definite shift this time around, especially going to be felt in the cut down in resources. We have now 1 more year with this Ream Intelligence. We have a year or 2 with the Justice League Teleporter, probably 2. Don't quote me on that. But we do see the Justice League Teleporter around for a little bit longer. Those are going to be the 2 big resources, but it's time to start talking about whether or not that Punisher ban starts to look good with Punishers coming around the corner. We have to read the game for a little bit, see where it all goes. I'm excited to see what happens with this. I can't wait to see what that metagame looks like. And it's going to be good to dig into some of the older stuff in the new Modern to see if any of it has a chance again. Because a lot of times, sometimes we just kind of figure, and then they kind of make a resurgence when something gets cut that was cutting it off. Who knows? Anyway, with that said, guys, New Modern is going to take a little bit of creativity at first, but I'm sure we're going to work our way through it, and we'll talk a little bit more once we've had a chance to really dig in and do some research about what we're actually going to be doing in the game. In the meantime, hope you guys have enjoyed the episode, and always remember, once you get those new ideas from the New Modern, start playing with them, because playing is practice, and practice makes your team better.